What's up everyone, I'm Taylor and it's time for the Weekly Rundown. This week has been an overwhelming news week to some with the tragic explosion in Beirut, intense storms, and closest to home, these brush fires. So I'm going to try my best to give a sense of calmness and hopefully put a smile on your face. Now this is a sweet silver lining out of the apple fire burning in Cherry Valley. As you know, over 2,500 firefighters have been working to battle the blaze. Well, take a look at this sweet moment of one of the crews saving a pup. They say the animal was found wandering near a fire line. They gave it water and some of their food and delivered it to an animal control officer. And if it hadn't been reunited with its owner, a firefighter was prepared to adopt it. Okay, now one birthday card for every year of life? That's not too much to ask, is it? Well, if you're turning 108 years old, it's kind of a tall order. But that's what Gertie Abkes said she wanted. Well, she got her wish. Gertie hit that 108-year mark Tuesday and she received 125 cards. Can I get her address? My card may be late, but it's coming, Gertie. Now, the country's oldest living Marine is also celebrating a big birthday, and COVID is not stopping him from moving forward with enthusiasm. Adrian Moore introduces us to this awesome fella.
Not even a pandemic could squash this drive-by birthday salute to centenarian Major Bill White. At 105, he is the oldest living Marine. So, how's he feel about it?
It feels as good as it was 104.
Major Bill's positive spirit, just one of many reasons there's so much love and fanfare outside his Stockton assisted living facility.
He was in Shanghai before World War II and the Japanese invasion and all that. Just his Iwo Jima got blown up with a grenade, recovered from that, spent 30 years total in the Marine Corps. Just an amazing guy.
For his family members who haven't been able to visit much because of coronavirus, this celebration is nothing short of remarkable.
It's very heartwarming and very, it does get to you that there are so many people that love him and appreciate him for his service.
We first met Major Bill back in February when he stole hearts asking for a few Valentine's Day greetings. In what eventually became known as Operation Valentine's Day, he brought in more than 500,000 cards and gifts from around the world, including a special note from NASA and President Trump. Back at the drive-by festivities, Major Bill is embracing this birthday milestone and is already looking forward to the next big celebration.
Right now I'm trying for 106.
When asked, Major Bill said one of his secrets to longevity is that he keeps his mind sharp by reading. Now, for a California couple forced to postpone their wedding, it was Domino's Pizza to the rescue. Everyone confused? Let me explain. Like so many, the couple's plans were sidelined by the pandemic. They had responded to a Domino's ad for a pizza-themed rain check registry for couples in similar situations. They were expecting about $40 in free pizza, but instead they got an email.
Hey, not only did we buy your Domino's registry, but we bought everything.
Yep, Domino's paid for their entire registry, all $4,000 of it. The couple now has to wait until 2021 for a slice of wedded bliss, but in the meantime, Domino's definitely delivered. So you know those SOS songs? There's one by Avicii, Rihanna, and the Jonas Brothers. Yeah, well, cue your favorite one because it fits this next story all too well. Jeremy Roth has this and more.
Like something out of a movie, 3 stranded sailors were saved by an SOS in the sand. Authorities say the trio set out on a 23-foot boat to journey through the islands of Micronesia. They went off course, ran out of fuel, and landed on a tiny, uninhabited island. Their saving grace came when their sandy SOS message on the tiny island's beach was spotted by an eagle-eyed Air Force crew at the tail end of a 3-hour search flight. A 3-hour flight! I couldn't resist. Anywho, a helicopter was sent to the beach to deliver food and water and check for injuries, and soon thereafter, a Micronesian patrol vessel was sent to pick up the marooned mariners. Judgy cat, what is your problem, man? Well, viral stardom is now a problem for a frowny feline from Arizona who seemed to be channeling the late great Grumpy Cat when the Humane Society took his official adoption picture. The priceless pic, of course, started going viral, and the testy tabby, whose name is Roger, quickly got a new nickname, Judgy Cat. But JC's celebrity may be short-lived. He's already been adopted. Hopefully, a forever home will turn this sourpuss pussycat's frown upside down for good.
Now remember murder hornets? Yeah, those things. Well, everyone please stand up and give Washington officials a round of applause because they have trapped their first murder hornet. Experts have been trying to trap the 2-inch long pest ever since the hornet was verified, and now they're hoping to find and destroy the colony before it begins reproducing. Fingers crossed, people. And speaking of uninvited guests, one showed up in a backyard pool in Alabama. Stephen McColland was understandably confused when he found an alligator taking a recreational reptilian dip in his pool.
What in the blue blazes is this?
Reasoning with it didn't work, so he posted his video on social media in case a neighbor had misplaced the creepy pet.
He in my backyard in my pool. Come get him. Thank you.
Eventually, the scaly squatter got out, but it's definitely changed Stephen's future pool routine.
I'ma look twice.
Good idea, Stephen. My aunt found a snake in her house this week, and I don't know what's worse, a snake or an alligator. Alligators are running to pools, and dinosaurs are running to the beach. A dinosaur took advantage of the Jurassic climate to paddle a Sicilian beach. A man wearing an inflatable T-Rex costume was seen calmly paddling on his surfboard among the non-reptilian beachgoers. Now, I'm assuming it's much hotter in that thing, so it's a weird way to beat the heat, but it made for smiles, right? Now this is how people really want to hit the water. Thirsty revelers floated down a river in Finland for the annual Beer Floating Festival. Fun, right? For the event, participants float down this river in various kinds of inflatable dinghies and self-built rafts while presumably getting drunk. And quite a few decided to show up for the fun this year. Speaking of beer, have you heard that there's a new mustard flavored one? Yeah, you heard that right, mustard flavored beer. I'll tell you about that and other pretty interesting things hitting the market after the break. The Weekly Rundown will be right back. Welcome back to the Weekly Rundown. Now, I know you have been waiting anxiously to hear about the mustard flavored beer, so I'll give the people what they want. One brewer is celebrating National Mustard Day by adding the spicy condiment to its beer. Spicy? I don't know if it's spicy, but that's right. Oscar Blues has teamed up with French's Mustard to offer mustard beer. It's available at 2 of the brewer's tap rooms in Colorado and 1 in North Carolina. But what about Cali? I guess us Californians will have to order it online or take a little road trip. I bet a pretzel would taste pretty yummy with that, huh? Okay, now what else is yellow and yummy? Mac and cheese. It's the cheesiest, and now it's for breakfast. That's right, it's a kid's dream come true, chowing down on a big bowl of mac and cheese to start the day. And it seems like a lot of kids have been living the dream recently, with 56% of parents telling Kraft they're serving it up in the morning more now than they ever have before. That's what lockdown life will do for you. So Kraft is playing along. They've come out with these limited edition boxes with the word breakfast over where dinner usually is. I love mac and cheese, I'll find some. Now to something a little more breakfasty, coffee. A few episodes ago, I asked you what Coffee Mate seasonal creamer you would want to see on store shelves. Well, Coffee Mate has unveiled its highly anticipated seasonal offerings. Drumroll please. Toll House cookies and cocoa. Coffee Mate's pumpkin spice and peppermint mocha will also return. The seasonal flavors will be available in grocery stores as soon as September, so we are all counting down, and they will stick around until the end of the year. And Coca-Cola is mixing it up, debuting Coke with coffee next year. It will combine regular Coke with Brazilian coffee, and it comes in 3 flavors: dark blend, vanilla, and caramel. The drinks will have double the caffeine of a regular Coke. Coca-Cola is trying its hand in another market too. The soda company plans to launch a new hard seltzer. This will be a first for Coca-Cola. The seltzer will be introduced initially in select cities in Latin America later this year. The company has not said if it will eventually bring the product to the US. Well, Okay, now imagine driving across the country to satisfy a craving, like looking for mustard beer maybe, only to find the restaurant you're headed to has closed its doors. Well, that was the case for a Florida man determined to hunt down a burger fit for the king himself.
Gene Anderson has been all across America this summer.
Down in Florida, headed out to Oregon, then down the California coast.
But the Floridian had one thing on his mind the whole trip, the Elvis Burger from the Pink Cadillac Diner in Natural Bridge.
Some diner there that my buddy says I have to get an Elvis Burger.
I'm actually sort of a vegetarian, or try to be, but you know, hey, you can't pass up an Elvis Burger. It's a quest.
The diner was closed during his first try. He came back on Wednesday, but the Pink Cadillac was closed again. A Facebook post from the diner claimed it might never reopen. Owner Brian Torrance said the stress of COVID-19 got to him.
I kind of reached a mental limit, if you will, and thought this is it.
Torrance eventually met the weary travelers. He told them the Pink Cadillac will rev up its engines again, and he grilled a very special order for them before they left.
Making those Elvis burgers for those guys just made me think, no, we're gonna reopen.
Anderson's 1,000-mile journey led directly to the single bite. Let's just say it left his taste buds all shook up. Those two burgers helped Torrance remember the joy of cooking.
And it's not as dire as I thought it was. Probably I just needed a mental health day.
And let the travelers realize some hidden treasures are worth chasing.
I like to see these people back at work and putting out some good food.
The Pink Cadillac Diner reopened to the public last week, and the owners said they will try their hardest to keep things going, even in these incredibly tough times. Okay, now Chipotle lovers, it may or may not be a sign of commitment, but some Chipotle customers will be wearing a little bit of the company's avocados on their sleeves. The Mexican Grill is rolling out a new clothing line that will be dyed with leftover avocado pits. The company says it ends up with about 300 million pits every year that usually wind up in landfills, but by using those pits to dye clothes and other wearables, the company is hoping to help the environment. The clothing line will include Chipotle t-shirts, sweatshirts, tote bags, jean jackets, and other items. And do you remember the Fyre Fest? LOLs. Well, you can now buy merchandise from the 2017 Fyre Festival fraud in the Bahamas. The U.S. Marshals are auctioning hats, shirts, wristbands, and other branded items like these from the festival. Proceeds will go to victims of Billy McFarland's $26 million scam. If you're unaware, McFarland sold tickets for thousands of dollars to the supposedly luxurious event in the Bahamas. He got social media influencers to pitch in and promised bands like Migos and Blink-182. Instead, ticket holders found an underdeveloped island with poorly constructed tents and skimpy food options. Side note, there's a whole documentary on the fiasco and it's worth a watch. Now, some new documentaries also worth a watch. Well, actually, I don't know if they're worth a watch, but we'll find out after the break when Manny reviews Boy State and 1,000 Cuts. Plus, America's Got Talent is back, and in honor, I'm showing you some of the most memorable moments in AGT history. The weekly rundown will be back in 2. Welcome back to the weekly rundown. If you're anything like me and love America's Got Talent, then you are so happy it's back. Today we're showing you some of the most viral auditions.
Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Hit it.
I was way more nervous. Petunia was like, I got this. I went back to school and people were staring. Like, that's when I was like, what is happening right now? Like, life kind of feels a little bit different.
We toured for almost 3 years now. We've been to 46 states. It's crazy.
I just gotten so many opportunities that I wouldn't have gotten if it hadn't been for AGT.
Just pick one.
You're gonna win
in America's Got Talent. And she was, I remember her, she was so certain when she said that. And I guess that kind of reassured me. But when it came to like, you know, the actual like butterflies in my stomach, yeah, I had all of those. The best way to describe it would be shell shock. It's been a strange holiday, that's what I like to call it.
By the way, Darcy Lynn is slated to make a return visit to AGT for the live results show on Wednesday, August 19th, and she told Mark she'll be introducing a brand new, never-before-seen puppet friend on that episode. Switching things from shows to movies now, everyone's favorite movie critic, Manny the Movie Guy, reviews 2 documentaries, Boy State and 1,000 Cuts.
Hello movie buffs, 2 new documentaries for you. So let's begin with 1,000 Cuts.
Mr. President, is it important that people be afraid of you? Fear.
Opening in select theaters and virtual cinemas this weekend is this thought-provoking look at press freedom in the Philippines, embodied by the embattled Rappler CEO Maria Ressa.
I'm Maria Ressa.
On the other side of the spectrum is President Rodrigo Duterte, hell-bent on punishing those criticizing him.
Started with the drug war.
Do not do drugs.
If power doesn't want a story told, they go after the independent press.
From award-winning director Ramona S. Diaz, who gave us Imelda and the Journey documentary Don't Stop Believin', this character-driven masterpiece is a call for action for everyone, not just the Philippines.
They test the tactics of how to manipulate America in our country.
1,000 Cuts is a sharp-as-knife documentary that will pierce through your heart. So, I mean it when I say,
watch 1,000 Cuts, one of my favorite, if not the most important movie you'll see this year.
We will not duck, we will not hide, we will hold the line.
And for that, 1,000 Cuts gets the perfect 4 out of 4. Hooray for press freedom kisses. And coming to Apple TV Plus next weekend is Boy State.
I would like very much to win. I love it, boys. I love it. Where you from?
The film documents 1,000 teenage boys from Texas as they learn democracy in a week-long summer leadership and citizenship program. The documentary narrows its focus to 4 leads, namely Ben Feinstein as the Federalist Party chair, Rene Otero as Ben's opponent, the Nationalist Party chair. There's Robert McDougall, who's running for governor of the Nationalist Party, and his exact opposite in beliefs, my favorite, Steve Garza, also running for governor of the Nationalist Party.
They come from different political points of view.
From Jesse Moss and Amanda McBain, the film captures documentary gold with many unscripted moments among the boys as they squirm and backstab their way to the top office. Yep, just like real life.
I want to tell you guys that we can learn a lot from you.
An eye-opening look at democracy, Boy State is as nail-biting and exciting as any election season and is a glimmer of hope for our jaded and divided nation.
That's politics, I think. That's politics.
And for that, Boy State also gets the perfect 4 out of 4. Stream on August 14th. Kisses. I'm Manny the Movie Guy, strongly recommending these 2 great documentaries.
After the break, Anthony Caridi with Toyota of the Desert will introduce you to this week's Essential Employee of the Week. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Weekly Rundown. Anthony Caridi here with Toyota of the Desert. Every week, Toyota of the Desert and Honda of the Desert are honoring essential employees in the Coachella Valley. I'm here to introduce you to this week's recipient. Check it out.
We are about to surprise David Douglas. He is our next Essential Employee of the Week. He has no idea we're coming. There's a trail of people behind me ready to surprise him as well. Here we go. Good morning, David. I'm Thalia Hayden with NBC Palm Springs. How are you? You are our Essential Employee of the Week. Your bosses and coworkers think you're absolutely amazing. We're We're told you are on the front lines and you work tirelessly here. So we have Toyota of the Desert and Honda of the Desert with a check for you, as well as the fact that you will be featured on our newscast bright and early.
Thank you guys. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. And I'm just blessed to be here. Thank you guys so much.
When you saw us coming, what were you thinking?
I didn't know what to think. I was shocked. But thank you guys so much. CVRM is a blessing.
Yeah, we heard you've been here 5 years. And what's your favorite part of the job?
Just saving lives and helping people. You know, I mean, changing lives. That's what we do here.
David Douglas is a shining example of somebody that just always is there for the people. He just wants to help as many people as he can.
But it was exciting to watch, and somebody like David just on the front line, giving everything he can every single day, and it just feels good that we're able to give back to somebody like that. So.
That's the best part about this, right? It feels good. There's, times of negativity and you hear a lot of white noise on TV and different things. It's nice to do something positive, especially right here in the best community in the world. I feel that Coachella Valley just has amazing people and very well-deserved folks. Wow, what an amazing week it was. David Douglas was our recipient of the Essential Employee of the Week. David plays an integral role at the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission. And this is a man who, if you talk to him, you can tell he just really, really loves his work. He handles initial intake. He deals with hundreds of people over a monthly basis. And he just is there to save lives, give inspiration, and help people in need throughout the Coachella Valley. Just a great, great man who loves his job. And we were so honored to be with him that morning. Well deserved. Way to go, David. Now, just like Gil did last week, I'm leaving you with an encouraging quote of the week. Be thankful for what you have, and you'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you'll never have enough. And that quote is from Oprah Winfrey herself. The Weekly Rundown will be right back.
Today is National Book Lovers Day, so I brought one of my favorite books called Girl, Wash Your Face. And what a fitting day because, like Major Bill said at the start of the show, reading kept his mind sharp. That's all I have for you today. Have a great week and stay positive.